Hello, students. I am Gyan from English Magus. Welcome to our video lesson today. We are diving into a captivating story that explores the power of faith and the human spirit. We'll be discussing A Letter to God by Gregorio Lopez Fuentes. So, grab your notebooks and let's get started. Before we jump into the story, let's take a moment to learn about the brilliant mind behind it. Gregorio Lopez Fuentes was born on 17 November 1895 in Huasteca, Veracruz, Mexico. He was not just a novelist, he was a chronicler of the Mexican Revolution, capturing the lives of indigenous people and the profound changes in society during that time. His insights into human emotions and struggles make his stories timeless. Before we start the detailed explanation, let me give a brief overview of the chapter. A Letter to God is about Lencho, a farmer who loses his crops to a hailstorm. Believing deeply in God, he writes a letter asking for money to survive. The kind post office workers collect some money and send it to him, but Lencho mistakenly thinks they stole the rest. Now get ready for the explanation. Before I begin, I would recommend you to pause the video and read the text of each slide before hearing the explanation. The story begins in a rural area of a Latin American country, specifically Mexico, in the early 20th century. Lencho is the main character of our story. His house stands alone, overseeing a fertile valley. The ripe cornfield, speckled with hopeful flowers, awaits a nurturing shower. Lencho, intimately connected to his land, is looking at the sky, yearning for rain. This setting foreshadows the blend of hope and despair that will unfold in Lencho's tale. In this scene, we see Lencho optimistic about the coming rain. His family was busy in their evening routine, with the children called in for dinner. As they were eating, rain started to fall, fulfilling Lencho's prediction. He joyfully stepped outside, comparing the raindrops to coins, symbolizing the wealth he expects the rain will bring to his crops. Lencho looked at his cornfield and felt content. The corn was ready for harvest, and rain fell gently, like a curtain covering the plants. Unexpectedly, a powerful wind picked up, and alongside the rain, huge hailstones fell. These hailstones looked like shiny silver coins. The children, not minding the rain, hurried outside to gather the hailstones, which they saw as precious pearls. Lencho realized that the situation was worsening. He hoped the storm would end soon, but unfortunately, it continued. The hailstorm persisted for an entire hour, damaging everything: the house, garden, hillside, and cornfield. The field turned white, resembling a layer of salt due to the hail. After the devastating hailstorm, Lencho surveyed the damage. The trees had become bare, the corn ruined, and the flowers were destroyed. He was deeply saddened, realizing the storm's destruction was so severe that not even locusts could have done worse. His family faced a grim future with no harvest, feeling helpless and fearing hunger in the coming year. Despite their dire situation, everyone in the isolated house clung to one hope: the belief that God would come to their aid. Someone consoled Lencho, urging him not to despair. Although things appeared bleak, they reminded him that starvation was unlikely. The phrase, "that's what they say," implies a common saying or belief. Here, it emphasizes the idea that people survive even in difficult circumstances. Lencho's unwavering focus was on God's assistance. He believed that God's omniscience extended to understanding the depths of human hearts. Despite his physical strength and laborious work, Lencho possessed literacy skills. He could read and write. Lencho took action. He decided to write a letter to God, seeking divine help, and planned to post it personally to the town's mailbox. Lencho, desperate after a hailstorm ruined his crops, wrote to God asking for money to avoid hunger and replant his fields. He mailed this unusual letter, marked, "To God, with faith." At the post office, a postman found it amusing and shared it with his boss, the postmaster, sparking a reaction that blended humor, awe and empathy. The postman had never seen an address like this before. The postmaster, a kind man, laughed but then admired Lencho's strong faith. To keep his belief in God strong, he decided to reply. Realizing words weren't enough, he and his friends donated money to help, showing kindness beyond just writing back. The postmaster couldn't collect the full amount Lencho had asked for, so he sent him 70 pesos, which he was able to collect after so much of effort. He signed the letter as God. Lencho, expecting a reply, got it from the postman. The postmaster felt good about helping. Lencho wasn't shocked to see money because he trusted God would help, but he was upset as it wasn't the full amount he had expected. He believed God wouldn't make a mistake, so he went to the post office once again. He requested for paper, pen and ink and wrote another letter, asking for the remaining 30 pesos. He accused the postal workers of stealing and asked God not to send him the remaining money through that post office, showing his unwavering faith and suspicion of others. This story teaches us that faith can indeed move mountains. Lencho's story illustrates the belief that God helps us through others, and it challenges us to reflect on our own faith and trust in the world around us. It's a beautiful narrative that resonates with many, reminding us of the power of hope and the importance of community. So, with this the story ends. Here is a list of literary devices. Pause the video and read it. Thank you for joining us today as we explored A Letter to God. If you found this discussion helpful, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our channel for more insightful content. Keep believing, and remember that faith can guide us through even the toughest times. Until next time, stay curious and keep learning.